everybody, and welcome back to Diecast and Dioramas. Today I want to go through the process that I do of scanning diecast cars to scale images to make properly sized decals the first time. I don't have to make shovel prints or even measure the vehicles to make sure that the decals are going to be the right size. This way, pretty much 99% of the time, they do come out perfect. So basically, I use a M2 case, the clear cover part, to kind of align things up on my scanner. I have a Epson Perfection V600 photo flatbed scanner. I also scan negatives and slides, so I did need a good dedicated scanner just for that. But this does work perfect for this as well. You can do this on one of the all-in-one scanners. The image might not come out as clear, but honestly that does not even matter, just as long as it is scanning at, in this particular case, 300 DPI. Everything that you do from this point forward will all have to be in 300 DPI, which might actually be PPI, but the resolution needs to be at 300. So we go ahead and we do our preview scan. You can hear the scanner running in the background. And I have on here, which was originally a letter getter. I had two of these, and this one was completely shot, which is also very close to the Combat Medic. So I've scanned it, and I'm going to go ahead and use my scan area. I will scan this. I will send it to where I want to put it. I'll just put it in there. Click OK. Now it scans it, it puts it in here, and we have a 100% scan of the vehicle. And by what I mean by 100% is this dimension from here to here. If you printed it on a piece of paper, you could lay the die cast right on top of it and it would be the exact same size. So now that we have our image, let's go ahead and scan all of the other images that I want to do. In scanning the die cast, I lift the scanner lid all the way up, and I use these M2 case lids to keep the casting straight. Scan the one side of the vehicle. Scan the roof of the vehicle, and then I was going to scan the back, and then quickly realized there's nothing on the back to scan. Went to this GMC motorhome, scanned the one side of that. After that, I scanned the back of the vehicle, and there's a place back there to put decals if you'd want to. After that, I was going to scan the front of the vehicle, and you can see I used two of these M2 covers to try to hold the casting straight and keep it lined up, especially when it's stood up like this on end. Got it to stay, and then scanned it. Then I switched to this 68 Mustang. At one time I had over 300 die casts scanned in, and I had a hard drive failure and lost every single one of them. So I scanned the top of that, scan the back of it, because you can make decals for the tail lights and headlights. Okay, now that everything is scanned in, I go into Photoshop, which you could do this in almost any photo editing software. I just happen to have use Photoshop. And I'm going to create this blank canvas, which, as you can see, it's just a 4x6. That's all you need. And again, the resolution is 300. And like I said, it could be pixels per inch, dots per inch. There's a big difference between the computer and the actual printer itself. They don't see things the same way, but that's another video. But 4x6 is all we need. Now one of the things I scanned was the 68 Mustang. Now, one thing that I've watched some people do when they scan in a vehicle or they try to do this is they get their vehicle they don't get the scan exactly straight, and they use the transform tool, and they try their best to straighten it out as as best they can. But there is a trick to make that makes this a lot easier. Over here under the eyedropper tool, and I believe the eyedropper tool is in the same location on the newer versions of Photoshop, there's a ruler tool, which if you take this ruler tool and you find a straight line on your casting and just go across there, and I come back over to image rotation, and arbitrary, and then I click OK, it'll flatten out or straighten out the entire image. So now it's straight again, so we don't have to worry about twisting and turning and trying to get it perfectly straight. It's straight. And you can do this with this tool. You can do it on vertical lines, whatever you decide is your straight line, and then you just click that, and then you will, like I said, go to image rotation, arbitrary, and it'll tell you how far off. In this particular case, it's going to try to align it on a vertical axis. But we don't need any of that. That's how we straighten it out. Now I'm going to take this image right here, because this is what I'm after, and I'm going to carry it over onto my blank canvas that I had before. And now I have the passenger side of this vehicle. And I will come down here and I will duplicate my layer. Now I have two of those. Now I'll use that transform tool again, except this time I'm going to use it to flip it horizontally, and now I have the driver's side and the passenger side of this vehicle. I also scan the top. We don't need this whole thing, so we'll just go ahead and crop that down some. But we'll just take this, bring this over to our 68 Mustang canvas, and now I have the driver's side, the passenger side, and the roof, and I can lay out my decals any way I want. And as you can, this particular area right here, you could lay out decals onto this. You could size it. This is the part where I say it comes out 99%, because there is some things that you have to kind of guess. Like on this little area, you would have to guess. And then the last thing that we have is the back of the car, which you might do, create decals for these tail lights, or create a decal for the gas cap, create a license plate, whatever you want it to do for this part. So we're going to take that, we're going to bring that over here, and now we have every aspect of it on this little 4x6 piece, and then we're done with that. You create your decals right on top of this. And what I do here, now we're going to go back to the letter getter, which I've already scanned and I've already put together. Again, like I said, originally this is what it was, and I redrew all of this to get that. And what I'm going to do is I can take all of this over into where my letter getter is, and you can see it all lines up on there, and I could put it on there. And actually what I would do with this, though, at this point I probably wouldn't go from here to here. I would go straight to my decal sheet, which we haven't created yet. So we're just going to go ahead and drop all of that. But we're going to have a little bit of extra fun with this one. I wanted to talk about also where you get your images from off the internet or wherever you get them. One place, if you're looking for logos, is brandsoftheworld.com, and you can type in here anything that you want, and it will give you all of the different logos and everything with that brand. probably gonna spell it wrong. But here's all your Ferrari logos. And you would, click on the one that you want. Let's do Mustang. And it's going to give every little Mustang logo, the wording, and everything. And not just for the Mustang car. If there's other companies that use Mustang. So, like, if I wanted this, I wanted to be able to use this as a decal. Basically, you have to agree to the following, which I'm not going to read it out to you. But it's explaining permissions for using it. You click agree, and it'll tell you what kind of file it is. And this particular one's a vector format. It's an Adobe Illustrator file, and you just download it, and now it's on your computer. It's downloaded to your computer, and you have that exact logo. And if I go in here to open it, of course it's going to open up Illustrator. Probably shouldn't have done that. I might have to edit this part out.
2,000 years later.
So it opens it up, and this is what we have in Illustrator as the vector version of this. So Brands of the World is a good website to go to. If you go and you look up clip art, one of the things that you really need to pay attention to is don't just grab any image. Try to go to Tools, Size, Large, and that way you will get, in this particular case, it's a 2089 by 2108 pixel image. You're going to get a large image. The bigger image that you get, the clearer it will be when you go to print it out as a decal. So that's the important thing. You don't want something that's like this, 410 by 470. That might not print out very well. Every single thing that you're going to grab off of the internet, though, is also going to be 72 dpi, which is why you want to go with the larger ones. So let's get back to our van in Photoshop here. I've already downloaded some images. I have this nice scaredy cat here. And I want to take it and I want to put it on the van. I want to put it on this door. So I will do the transform tool, which is Control T. Hold down Shift to make sure my aspect ratios stay the same. And I want to put it on this door. So now it is now sized to fit that door. This dog here, I'm going to have to use I have to select the inverse. I have to select the dog and bring it over here. Now we have it, and do our Control T to transform this. And I'm holding the shift again, like I said, to make sure my aspect ratios stay the same. And I put it on the door. Now, these two are here, and the other image that I have is this vet chasing another dog. And for the sake of time, I have already completed it. Sized everything. This is text. It's not an image. And I've resized it to fit the car. Now what I will do is, my decal paper is 8.5 by 11. And again, that 300 dpi, like I said, everything has to be the same. If you're doing it 200, if you're doing it 300, if you're doing it 600, it all has to be the same on every single thing. So I'm going to make this new one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab all of this. I'm going to take it to my decal paper. I'm going to put that just right there. And just to show, I'm going to grab this one, like that, and then I'm going to grab the other side as well. Put that right there. And that's how I would go through the process of creating decals that are going to fit perfectly. What I'm going to do right now, though, is I'm going to print this on plain white paper, which is the exact same size as the decal paper. But just to save decal paper, I'm just going to print it out this way, because normally I would separate these images. I would put like this dog and the cat next to each other so I can cut them out individually. I might leave all of this together, but I would cut out the wording on the bottom. For this particular, the one, I would leave the stripes together, but I would the U.S. mail and the logo would be a different decal. So I would rearrange them, but I'm gonna leave them this way to print it on regular paper, and then I'm gonna cut it out and show it to you on the actual diecast itself so that you can see the size, and I'm not making any more adjustments after this. So let's go ahead and switch to that video and I'll get back with you. After sending the image to the printer, we just wait for the printer to do its magic and spit out a piece of paper with an image on it, and here it is. And that's pretty much the decals, the exact size that I did them on the vehicles in Photoshop. I cut them out. Of course, I would cut them out a little more precise with the actual decals, because you don't want a lot of extra space around the decals. Did all of that off camera, and here they are, the finish, the snipping clip, one side of that vehicle, and then the other one side of the letter getter. And I took the other ones and taped it to the actual die cast to show you that I only printed this once. I didn't print several sizes to make sure that I have one size that fits, because I did it directly on the casting itself, as I explained in the video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you did learn something. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Be good to each other, and I will see you in the next video.